Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first one is coming from Josh Mettier. Hi, John. I was lucky enough to see an early fan screening of Elvis with my sister and her husband. I admit I don't actually know a lot about Elvis, just a lot about his songs and music. I personally loved it. Austin Butler should be an early favorite to win the Oscar, and Tom Hanks was just incredible. I wanted to know if you had a chance to see it yet, and if so, what did you think of it? Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot for writing that in, man. And yeah, I had a chance also to go to an early screening of it. Ann and I went to go see it. Now, listen, I'm going to admit, while I know a bunch of Elvis's music, I actually don't know a lot about Elvis. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff, and I know who, Colonel Parker was and all that kind of stuff, but I really don't know much about it. But I did know this. It was being directed by Baz Luhrmann, who has directed one of my top 20 all-time favorite films in Moulin Rouge. And so I was down to check it out. Then they showed us some preview stuff at CinemaCon for it. It was bombastic and just the kinetic energy of it was incredible. I was very much looking forward to it. So I went to go see it last night. And I will say this. If you scalpeled 20 to 25 minutes out of this movie, it's a top 5 movie of the year. Like the first hour and a half, like the whole movie, truly you can say all movies are really made in the editing bay. But the editing is really where this movie is made. It is just this frantic, insane pace of images and moving things, but that all flow together so seamlessly. It has this undeniable energy to it. And Austin Butler as Elvis Presley, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he's so good. And I completely agree with you that as of right now, he would have to be considered a leading contender for an Oscar for his role in this thing. As of right now, we'll see if that's still the case in December. But he's absolutely fantastic. Tom Hanks, I think, Tom Hanks is not going to be able to make himself unlikable. He's Tom Hanks. Oh, yes, he does.
Ooh.
Him as the Colonel, I totally see a Best Lead Actor nomination for Austin. I see a Best Supporting Actor nomination for Hanks. This just sounds, I mean, it's incredible. It's really, really great. The way they tell their story, the way they set it against the cultural background of the events and things going on, it's just really great. So why don't I actually think it's going to end up being a top 5 movie of the year? This movie is far too long.
How long is it?
It's about 2 hours, hovering around the 2.5, maybe 2.5 plus. And here's the problem with it. The reason that really comes into play is because, like I said, it is such this maniacal, incredible pace with the rapid editing, but that works flawlessly and seamlessly. After 2 hours, you're getting mentally exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And certain points of it just drag out a little bit too much. And so by the time the movie was over, I was spent. I'm just like, okay, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's over. Again, overall, I think this is a very good movie. I think most people will enjoy it very much. Again, Austin Butler, his performance in this is a revelation. He's absolutely phenomenal in it. The music is great. Oh my gosh, there are so many times you just find yourself like moving your leg and you're like, they're just getting into the music. So good. Tom Hanks. I mean, for a lot of other actors, it would have been the performance of a career, but not for Tom Hanks, but still was absolutely amazing. But again, the big weakness of it is that the strength of the film, that undeniable freight train of a pace, starts to work against it once it gets past that 2 hour and 10 minute, 2 hour and 15 minute, 2 hour and 20 minute. Once you get there, it just really, then it starts to drag a bit. So 25 minutes shorter, top 5 movie of the year. As it stands, still very good. I enjoyed it a lot. So, Chris, what have been your expectations for this movie?
I mean, I'm really excited about this one because I also love Moulin Rouge. That's one of my favorites as well. However, sometimes Baz Luhrmann is a little too Baz Luhrmann for me.
He's a little self-indulgent.
Yeah. Great Gatsby, which I already, as a novel, I'm always like, more like the mediocre Gatsby. So clever. But I just felt like that movie as well. There were so many moments where I went, well, that's a nice music video. Okay. So I do wonder if he could just do a little more Coco Chanel, right? And we take away one item before we head out the door.
Right.
And I think that would behoove him very well. I'm very excited to see this still because everything with Austin Butler looks incredible. And hearing him speak too about just his process and what he wanted to bring to the character when we were at CinemaCon really got me excited about it. I think that this is going to be a really great launching point for his career because he seems like an immense talent.
Aaron, where's your expectation level been for this movie?
Well, First of all, Baz Luhrmann, to me, he is in the top 5. I would almost say top 3 directors that I would love to work with. Yes, because he just has such an incredibly creative imagination, and he's able to somehow translate what he sees in his head while he's possibly on mushrooms. He's able to translate that onto the big screen. And I think, and that's always something that's so fascinating to me. It's like, how is it that a filmmaker takes what they see in their head and they are able to articulate it in a way that a whole team of people who are not living inside that director's brain, how they are able to then make that a reality on the screen for all of us. And it's interesting, the movies that you guys were talking about, because I just did a quick little search over the running times of some of his other movies, and his most successful films, Moulin Rouge and William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, which I would argue are the 2 most successful films that he has had. Are both they hover around the 2-hour mark. And then we go into Great Gatsby, which was successful, but it was a little bit hit or miss with some people. That gets to 2 hours and 22 minutes. We look at Elvis being at 2 hours and 39 minutes. Australia, which was an epic adventure.
Big sprawling,
but really did not connect with people, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I think that you hit the nail on the head. Baz Luhrmann, as we also saw, because he spoke at CinemaCon and was responsible for the entire segment running way too long, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. I would listen to him speak for hours. There's a lot of personality there.
Yeah.
And so for most of the viewing audience, having that much adrenaline running, we max out at a certain point. And I think that with Baz Luhrmann, when he is condensed to 2 hours, it's 2 hours of rock solid
all
awesomeness.
killer, no filler.
Yes, exactly. I know that I'm going to love this movie. There is no question in my mind. I'm not necessarily the biggest Elvis Presley fan, but I do love his music. And I think that just having a story about someone who was a larger than life personality, whether it's Elvis Presley or Liberace, there's always such an incredible story to be told there, and having Baz Luhrmann and his imagination have it explode off the screen. I know I'm going to love this movie. I'm excited about seeing it. But I will definitely not drink too much water that day because my bladder maxes, just like a Baz Luhrmann movie, my bladder maxes out at 2 hours.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you guys think? Where is your anticipation level right now for Elvis? You've been seeing the reviews. You've been hearing all the kind of stuff. You heard what I had to say about it. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to thank the sponsor of today's video, MeUndies. Guys, it is summertime, which means you got a lot of great fun plans, but make sure part of those plans is wearing MeUndies. Because MeUndies wants to make this summer the most comfortable one that you'll never forget, because when you're living your best life in the summer, the last thing you want to worry about is butt sweat and junk swamp. Listen, when you're feeling comfy and feeling good, you're more present to enjoy all your summer plans. It's like science or something. MeUndies has the lightest and most breathable fabrics to keep you cool and comfortable wherever you go. From undies, bralettes and socks, loungewear and swimwear, you can find something for all of your plans. MeUndies also releases new prints all the time, like their limited edition Pride collection. You can match with your partner, friends, or even your dog. Find your ultimate summer comfort in sizes extra small to 4XL. You guys know I have been wearing MeUndies for a couple of months now, and I will never go back to regular underwear. And right now, MeUndies has a great offer for all the viewers and listeners of the John Campea Show. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. For a limited time, if you sign up for their free-to-join MeUndies membership, you get 25% off your first membership item. So to get 15% off your first order or 25% off your first membership item and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea.